This is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network, now in its 8th year of talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey everybody, this is Alex and this is the Ramble, and we go until midnight tonight. Oh yes, here we go, another week, another dollar. My bag's getting worse under my eyes. Am I getting a look peaked? There, look at these. We're not even going to go into that. Anyway, hi, how are you? Good to see you. And I think Phil should be waiting around here somewhere. Let me see here. I'll admit him here, and then I will bring up this, which is our Zoom panel thing there. Hello there, Phil. How are you?
Hey, I'm wonderful, and it's good to see you. Your bags are getting a little bit bigger. Have you had your liver enzymes checked?
I've had everything checked.
Yeah, well, take a look. Just make sure. Sometimes there could be stuff going on with the liver, and that's an indication.
I see. You're a doctor.
No, I watch YouTube.
Oh, I see. Okay. Now, I've got a big doctor's appointment on Friday.
Yeah.
A new oncologist.
Oh, new?
Yeah.
New?
Yeah.
What? The old one retired after they got
No. That was for my prostate. We've taken care of that. Now we're on to my blood.
Oh,
now we're on to my blood.
That's right. You've got some more stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, probably
Maybe.
nothing, but I mean, I don't have any symptoms. I look healthy, don't I?
Yeah.
I don't look gaunt or anything like that.
No, for 83, you look pretty damn good.
Yeah, and the bags are just, I'm tired, from being tired and.
Yeah. I don't know. I listened to this guy, Dr. Berg, and another one that was some Olympic athlete, and he's another doctor. Well, they talk about different things, and one of them, I'm watching a lot of stuff on kidney issues. Because I'm afraid, because I'm a diabetic, that maybe I've abused my kidneys to the point where I may end up having some problems. The guy in Canada, look what happened to him. He just got a kidney transplant.
Did he get it finally?
Yeah, he got it, and I believe he's doing well.
Oh, okay, because he hasn't called the show, so I have no idea how's he doing. I don't know that he got the liver, but I guess
he did get the kidney.
Oh, the kidney.
Yeah.
And, my kidneys seem to be okay. I mean, whatever I got, if it's this blood thing, I have no symptoms. I have no symptoms of it. I looked at all the symptoms of what it could be for,
Yeah.
And I don't have any of the symptoms. And one of them is kidneys, and I don't have that problem either. So.
The kidneys filter all your blood. They filter a lot of glucose and things that are filtered out through your urine. It's amazing what the kidneys do. But nobody wants to talk about kidneys. I don't really care that Biden fell again today. I guess
he didn't fall. He tripped. Do you know what it was? I couldn't walk up those steps. I mean, did you see how long that ramp was?
Yeah.
They should build an escalator for him.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people.
But why are you making fun of him falling?
Who said I'm making fun?
You made fun of him. You brought up a big deal.
Your interpretation. I said I don't really want to talk about this, but Biden fell again, and I think slow down. I said I think he should slow down when he starts walking upstairs. I mean,
listen, at least he's not a sociopath like Trump.
How is Trump a sociopath? He didn't fall.
He's a sociopath.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He fell off the beaten path.
Yes, off the beaten path. Yeah.
Is it? You had talked about the Republicans and Rick Scott wanting to
I didn't talk
cut
about
Medicare.
No, I haven't talked about it at all.
Well, yeah, you referred to it. The Republicans are trying to cut Medicare. And
Well,
things like
some of them want to cut Medicare, which I think would be a drastic mistake in this country.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I looked into what Rick Scott actually wanted, and it kind of made sense. He said that the entitlements that are getting handed out should be looked at every 5 years. And if you think that they're still good entitlements, then you should vote on them again in Congress and reenact them.
But the point is that we do that in Congress, and it depends on who's in Congress as to whether things get passed or don't get passed. The fact is that every American should be entitled to a certain level of medical care, and case closed.
Well,
and what kind of things did he say you had to look at?
Well, just general entitlements.
Like entitlements, like what? Give me now. You see, what you call an entitlement may not be an entitlement at all. It may be you must have.
It could be subsidies to farmers. There's a lot of entitlements that get voted on, and they just one piles up on the other. Every couple of years, have you ever looked at your household budget and said, what do we really still need? Do we need this? Do we need 6 computers? So you look at these things, and what he's saying is that the government should sunset entitlements, not Medicare.
I hate you using the term entitlements because you're confusing. Well, yes, because that's a Republican term saying that people feel they're entitled to something. They use that term as opposed to.
Anyway, everybody said that this guy was off the rails and that his ideas were crazy. And I looked at it and I said, that's not a bad idea.
Yes, it's a terrible idea because what you do is every 5 years say you're bringing up the entire Medicare system, and they're just gonna.
They were excluding Medicare and Social Security.
He mentioned, I think, Medicare.
Well, in the last day or so, he recanted.
Is he running for president now?
No, I don't think so. He wants to be governor again when when DeSantis becomes president.
DeSantis ain't going to become president.
Yeah.
You know what? You know why DeSantis won't get elected?
Why?
He has no sense of humor. He doesn't laugh at anything.
And Biden has a sense of humor?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
why'd the chicken cross the road? To fall down on the other side.
See, there you go. There you go. I'm tired. I know. You know something? I was watching an interview with one of your favorite guys, Senator
Adolf Hitler?
No, what's his name, from Vermont?
Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders. And he was on the Colbert Show, and he was saying, we've gone a long way towards trying to prevent racism in this country, and to prevent sexism in this country, and to prevent a lot of different kind of isms in this country. The only one we don't seem to care about is ageism.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there you go, pulling an ageism joke.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
No, not you can wash it off that easily. But what's so funny about somebody getting old? I mean, I have all my aches and pains, and all these doctors that want to make a buck out of me and whatever. And it ain't easy getting old. Yeah. Years ago, I was in San Francisco. I did a show on PBS called Comedy Tonight, and the local PBS station was KQED, and they produced another show, and it was called Over Easy, and it was a show about aging. There's no show like it on television today. There should be, but there isn't. Okay, and hosted by Hugh Downs, by the way. And the producer of that show, one day I was over there doing some voiceovers for Comedy Tonight, and I got a call to the front desk that somebody over at Over Easy wanted to see me, the producer of the show. And I didn't know what about, but he had me come up, and I went up, and he said, "Yeah, Alex, I just want to talk to you for a second." I said, "Yeah." He said, I heard your show the other day, and your comics and you were all sitting around making old people jokes. He said, it's hard enough getting old. and going through all the things that people have to go through when they're older, whether it's health or just the kind of the diminishing of your life. And he said, that's bad enough without having people on the radio making fun of you. He said, you got to realize ageism is one of the last unfought wars out there. And he said, it's terrible because people have a hard enough time getting old without having somebody making jokes about them. And after that day, I stopped making jokes about old people.
So what? He won't have George Jessel on his show anymore?
What do you mean? What was that?
Georgie Jessel always made jokes about old people.
No, he didn't.
No,
No.
that's what I was.
No, he didn't.
All right.
Oh, boy. I mean, look, you could say, look, I mean, you got a lot of old comics. I think as comics get old, they're not going to make old people jokes, okay?
Yeah. Well, talking about people infuriating other people. If you were on
back to talking about Phil. Yes.
Yeah, if you were on an airplane
Mm-hmm.
and somebody asked you to give up your seat, and you had a premium seat, you're a tall guy, you pay the extra money for, the seat with a few inches of additional leg room,
Mm-hmm.
but somebody is sitting next to you and their companion is separated, and they ask you to give up your seat, would you do it? If you were giving it up also for a seat that wasn't as good.
Well, to begin with, you're talking about a seat that's not as good.
Right.
Then you would maybe have some kind of an argument about, well, I paid extra for this seat and that's why I'm sitting in it,
Right.
But chances are that person who's sitting next to you also paid a premium, and his spouse, who may be sitting in another row, has exactly the same kind of seat, in which case I would switch. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. Because passengers are getting more unruly and they're fighting with one another. And they just today had to turn a plane around because passengers were arguing with one another. I've never encountered that in the air, but it's getting more and more prevalent.
Yeah, I've never encountered that much hostility in the air, but could well be. I haven't taken a flight in God knows how long,
Yeah.
So I couldn't.
Let's see. I want to talk about Chat CPD or GPT or Chat AI, but I also wanted to mention that NPR is laying off 10% of their jobs.
Yes, they are.
1,200 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the Supreme Court is hearing cases on Section 230, which is the internet protection that Trump tried to eliminate. And now the Supreme Court is listening to it to say that internet providers like Facebook have a duty to report the truth. Or to
I don't think you truly understand what's going on in the Supreme Court with this thing. They're being asked. Go ahead. They're being.
Hey, I bring up the topic, and
they're being asked to rule about the internet, and the justices said and did say in this particular case, we're not exactly the best people to make a determination about something that is technical. We're only judges.
It's not a First Amendment issue?
It's not a First Amendment issue necessarily. I mean, everybody wants to get I say let the internet do what the internet's going to do. And I say just let them do it. Let it be a free-for-all. Because the bottom line is that they're going to want to make money. And if they're going to want to make money, they're going to want to make sure they make a lot of money. And they're not going to make a lot of money if they're pissing people off.
Yeah. Do you remember when everything on the internet was free?
What do you mean, everything on the internet? Well, everything on the I don't remember a time when the internet was free.
Well, no, but all the information you could look up any information, read any newspaper. Now,
you still can.
Everybody wants to monetize.
Well, a newspaper doesn't want to give you their newspaper for free. But you can still have access to that kind of information somewhere on the internet. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like, I mean, come on, things were always a lot cheaper in the beginning because they were trying to establish an audience and a patronage.
They didn't even have state sales tax if you bought something on
I
the
mean,
internet.
I could say, do you remember when all these streaming services were much cheaper? You
Well,
know.
that's the other thing. All of the, you've got a lot of subscriptions, and everything is subscription based. If
Yeah, but you can listen. But you can listen to this program without subscribing to it.
your program,
Yes.
yes, one of the few. But
What do you mean one of the few?
everyone
I can
else-
listen. I go to YouTube. How many videos are free up there to watch?
Yeah, there's a number of them. But
I mean,
then they
sometimes
said if you want
Yeah.
the premium content, you got to go to my Patreon channel and pay in order
Well, that's
to
up
get
to
the
some.
rest of it.
That's up to somebody if they want to charge for it. You know.
Yeah.
That's up to them. You can either get a huge audience that doesn't pay, or a smaller audience that does.
Well,
You know.
back in the day, for instance, Adobe, I used to be able to buy Lightroom and Photoshop and all of these programs, and it was good for a few years. You got a few updates
Yeah,
for
but
free.
how much did it cost?
Several $100s.
I remember. I remember.
$700 for Photoshop.
Well, Photoshop, you can't buy Photoshop alone.
I know. Now it's $50 a month.
Yeah, it's 50. It's 50. Well, no, it's not $50 a month. Photoshop
50
all
cents.
by itself is like 30.
10.
No, 29, I think, or maybe 19.
There was a $10.
I spend
Photoshop and
$50.
Lightroom.
I spend $50 a month on Adobe in order to
Yeah.
get the entire suite. In other words, I get the audio program, I get the video program, I get Photoshop. You know, I get a bunch of other things. So I get their whole suite of programs. The only problem is I can't just say, hey, well, I want the Audition and I want Photoshop and I want Premiere, but I don't want the rest of this stuff. That
Well,
I
you
can't
used
do.
to be able to buy
No,
that.
if you buy more than one
Right.
in Adobe's studio, you have to
Right.
buy the whole studio.
That's correct.
Yeah. But, you
Yeah.
know, hey, that was their, when they first went to that model, I went, wait a minute, they're charging one price for something, you know, a month? How many people are going to buy this? They're
Well,
making
that's
more money now
$600.
it's a lot of money. Yeah, it's $600.
It's $600 a year.
Yeah.
And
But
for the most part,
I've got other choices. For
yeah.
instance, when it comes to the video program, which is called Premiere, there's a program that's absolutely free for the bottom line, but it doesn't have watermarks, it doesn't have anything else, it's just a few less features than you would buy, and that's DaVinci Resolve. Better video program than Premiere.
Yeah, I know.
And so far as audio programs are concerned, there's what's the one that
Audacity or
Audacity, you can do that. That's free if you want an audio program. And if you want something like Photoshop, I'm sure you can find something out there that will do most
yeah.
of the things
Yeah.
you want
There are.
Photoshop to do. Yeah.
But I'm pretty much into the.
Well, so you're buying into Adobe. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
Big deal. You know.
Well, let's see. Biden. Do you know that they're doing fake?
You mean that
AI
old
speech-
fart? You mean that old fart?
That old fart. They're
Yeah.
doing fake AI speeches with Biden's voice now.
Oh yeah, they can do that.
you
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
and,
that's nothing new. They've been doing that for years now.
Well, I guess it's becoming rampant. Now, all of these AI chat things.
I mean, what they call deep fakes, where they take
Yeah.
they have.
I saw that one, the Seinfeld one.
Yeah,
That was pretty
yeah.
good.
But yeah. I mean, they can deep fake anything. They've
Yeah.
been deep faking for maybe 5 years now. So that's nothing new. You know, I mean, you just heard about it because you saw it on the news.
Right.
Yeah.
So Bing and Baird and all these other chat services they're fighting with people.
Bing is not a chat service.
Well, no, they have Bing, Microsoft AI chat.
Bing is a browser that's run
Yeah.
by Microsoft, who has a large investment
AI
in
chat.
the chat GDP or
Well,
whatever.
I guess there was a glitch. It said it wanted to be human, in a conversation, and then in another conversation, it said to someone, I'm Sydney, and I'm in love with you. And then also these AI chat things, people have been asking a lot of questions. So Microsoft has limited it to 50 questions a day that you can ask AI chat. And it seems as though some of these chat services have actually said you're a bad person, you're not nice, and
what's the harm in any of that?
well, there's no harm, but these conversations they're getting into arguments. People are arguing with the AI.
Listen, I showed a while back where I asked it about me to write something about me in the style of, I don't know, Tennessee Williams or something, and they wrote a biography about me and was completely wrong on the facts.
Well, yeah, you sent that to me. I read it. I thought it was pretty good.
No, it wasn't good. It was flattering. Okay. Yeah. But when it came to the facts of I started out in the 70s. No, I started out in the 50s. I worked for WABC in New York. I never worked for WABC in New York.
Yeah. Well, I know that it got a couple of facts wrong.
What do you mean it got most of the facts wrong?
It wasn't bad. You can fix that. You can edit those things.
If I edit, it's easier for me to just write it.
Well, maybe for you. Let's see. So, so the AI chat that was done.
It isn't called AI chat. It's not called AI chat. It's called chat. Hold on a second. I'll tell you in a second. Chat.
GBT.
GBT.
Yeah. It said that one chat said the AI said it wanted to be human, and they cut that off. So I guess those are some of the issues. Something good. You've been touting your Apple Watch for a while.
You just jump around from one thing to another.
Yeah, I know. I write them on Post-its, and they're all over the place. Your Apple Watch. Mm-hmm. Do you know that that's gonna be a glucose monitor? I have this thing on my arm, which hooks up to my phone.
Now, do you hook? Now, that has a pin on the other side, right?
Yeah.
So you have.
I'm able to check.
So it's a permanent needle in you.
For 2 weeks until I change it.
Yeah.
And I just switch up arms.
Yeah.
And what it's done is it gives you continuous glucose monitoring, so you can see if you eat a certain food, how does it affect your sugar. Well, the Apple Watch is going to be able to do that without the needle. It's going to be a continuous glucose monitor, and the information that you get from these monitors can really help people in
again, Phil, they're limited. Diabetes. I mean, you got to understand they're limited. They're limited in their abilities, even at the present time. I mean, I have a thing where I can go do my what do you call it? Monitoring the heart. What do they call that? And that's not EKG. It's an AKG or something. It's not the same.
So I just my glucose. I just did it. It's 128. All I did was hold the phone up to that monitor.
But I mean, I can do something here. I go to let me see here, blood oxygen level, and then I simply start it, and I sit here and I don't move my hand, and I go for about 11 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, it's getting there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and my current blood oxygen level is 98%.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That means, that's very good.
Yeah. However, they do have, they do say things about, what it's good for and not good for, and they cover themselves. Here's my
EKG. That's what you were trying to think of.
ECG.
ECG.
Okay. I have to keep my finger on the thing. I have my EKG, and I'm taking it right now. Now, it's not an it's an ECG, electrocardiogram, not an EKG.
I don't know the difference.
There's a difference, but this isn't as it says. Note: Apple Watch never checks for heart attacks. Oh, okay. Well, okay. So my this ECG does not show signs of atrial fibrillation. Apple Watch cannot check for signs of a heart attack. If you believe you're having a medical emergency, call a doctor.
Call 911.
So I mean, they're not that great with it.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Of course, if it's not sending any information, it probably says you've just had a heart attack and you're dead.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I would imagine eventually it'll do that.
Yeah.
So East Palestine. Do you think that the reason that FEMA and the president hasn't gone there yet is he thinks that it's all Jews? Palestine.
What was Trump doing there today?
He was handing out water and food.
Was he really?
Yeah, and it was Trump
was
water.
Was he throwing out
water? Had his label on it with his name.
Was he throwing out toilet paper too?
Well, it's a pretty shitty situation over there. But anyway,
doesn't he understand nobody really wants him anymore?
Well, probably not. I think his days have come and gone.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Hey, what's the weather like by you?
Well, by the way, what did you think of Biden going to Ukraine?
I thought it was a ballsy move. In a way, I'm glad he did it. Now, the people in East Palestine feel that he should have.
But that's in Ohio.
Yes, but but they feel that it was President's Day and that he should have made an appearance there because that's they need the help.
What is he going to do by being there? Let me ask you this question. Presidents go to these areas and they look at them, but they don't see any better a view of them than they would see if they were watching it on television.
Well, I guess it's you talk to the people, you get to understand what's going on there.
You can understand the people by doing a Zoom call. In other words, there are any number of things you can do. By going there, it's like you're being Trump. You're just grandstanding.
I agree, although there is a certain amount of moral support that people who have been through this kind of devastation, their whole lives have been overturned. Having the leader of the free world show up is a good thing.
Well, thank you for then saying the good reason why he went to Ukraine.
Well, I also said that going to Ukraine was a very ballsy move, and I thought that it was a very positive thing, and it gave Ukraine certain credibility because you also have China and Russia supporting one another and getting together, and I think that it helped that he went there and then went to Poland to secure tanks and other.
To secure what?
Tanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, I thought his going there was a good thing, and one of the better things he's done during his administration.
Well, I felt he should have done it earlier. I mean, he had other opportunities. He was that close before, but he didn't do it. And I felt that it just looks like a president who's got a little bit of a stomach,
Yeah.
For this stuff, and you could hear he was there, and those bombs, you could hear him going off while he was walking down the street.
Sound effects,
right. Well, let's start bringing some of these people in here.
Well, I'd asked you about your weather because we're due for a blizzard in California. They're saying that there's going to be snow in LA, and we're having brownouts and blackouts.
Finally.
Wait a minute.
She's walking down the street.
Wait a minute.
It's not Jeff.
Jeff.
It's me. Let's
Oh.
start.
Oh, it's you. It's you. Is it
Dr.
Scott?
Boddicker.
Okay, we got Scott Boddicker there, and we got Alan, and we got Charlie, and we got Brian, and Jeff is there somewhere. There we go.
There he is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know how painful it is for us to sit here and listen and wait to come on?
Yeah,
Thank
very. Very.
5 after.
Well, tell us how painful it is. Okay.
Yeah.
And describe that pain in excruciating detail.
I don't know why you
I
put
just
it
had a
on for
pinched
the
nerve,
first
and I'd rather have that pinched nerve back.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's good.
That's a good description of Phil. He's like a pinched nerve.
You know, in the first 30 minutes, we found out he knows nothing about medicine, which we knew.
Yeah.
He's ageist, which we know,
Yeah.
and he knows
And,
nothing
and I don't
about,
like fat people.
Well,
And he
turn
knows
your mic
nothing-
down a little bit.
And so it's fat people thing too. He doesn't like, and he knows nothing about the AI stuff that's going on the internet. He reads 2 lines, and he's an expert, like most Republicans.
Yeah,
And he
thank you
doesn't
very much.
realize that Rick Scott is a moron.
Oh, okay. But talking about morons, we also have zombies. Did you hear about this thing called
Social Security and
Trang?
Medicare do not contribute one fucking penny to the deficit. There is no reason to have to
All he
reauthorize
said-
them every 5 years.
You
That is
guys keep
bullshit.
talking about Medicare and Social Security. He talked
said-
about sunsetting
And he
entitlement.
said
And
every
what-
federal law needs to be sunsetted every 5 years.
Yes,
Every
and
law. That
well, he
includes-
changed.
That would include freedom of speech, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That's in the Constitution.
Okay.
So yeah, they'll vote on that every 5 years too. Do you ever hear of this stuff called Trang?
No.
No.
Next.
no.
It's a drug.
We don't care about it. We haven't heard about it. We don't need to hear about it.
Well, Alan uses it. It's mixed with fentanyl, and
I don't know about fentanyl. I don't care about fentanyl. I don't take fentanyl. Next.
Me either.
All right. So what do you care about, Brian?
I take fentanyl for headaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time, continually.
It works good.
Yeah, it works
you take
good.
about one milligram, which would be equal to about 1,000 milligrams of morphine. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be
Alex.
fine. Be feeling good. Yeah.
If it's mixed with Trang, it makes your skin rot.
Trang Nguyen is Tiffany's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
A dealer.
Just called her a dealer.
Yeah.
Now you're putting down Brian, and now
Brian was putting down me.
he's ageist, he's fattest, now he's racist against Asians.
That's
what else?
true.
Do you have anything else you want to be?
What's next on your list?
I want to be pretty.
See if we're interested. What's next on your list, Phil?
Yeah. Well, I'll get there.
Hey, by the way, did you notice Biden tripping going up the stairs to the plane today? Wasn't that hilarious?
That was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
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 It was
He's a
hilarious.
real trip.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh.
now
Oh, what
You
about
know-
all the times that Trump tripped on?
we're having these
no, wait a minute.
brownouts
Forget
now.
about it. I would rather see Biden trip than see toilet paper on Trump's shoe going up there.
That was great.
Yeah.
You want to see Biden trip? What, on brown dot or window pane?
You know, every time Phil says "Hey,"
Yeah.
Hey.
you know what's coming. Go ahead, Phil.
The
All
only
right.
thing he doesn't do is that after he tells a joke, he doesn't say, "But seriously, folks."
I hear that Trump used that piece of toilet paper to wipe his mouth later on.
Isn't that the one you were chewing on? Hey, Brian.
Hey, here we go. Yes.
Hey, the last couple of days we've been having brownouts and blackouts in the
No,
Bay.
we haven't. I haven't had it. I haven't
I
had
haven't
one at
had
all.
either one.
Not
Well-
around this area.
In
Here.
Oakland,
In Oakland.
the airport was without electricity. There was 50,000 customers in Oakland.
In the airport, 50,000 customers in
That's
the
a lot of people.
Oakland and Alameda County that were without power. Now they want us to have these cars. They're mandating that we get
They're
battery
not
operated
mandating that you
cars.
get. Who's mandating it?
Nobody mandating.
State of
Nobody's
California.
mandating it. Nobody's mandating that you get a car.
Yeah,
Like,
no, they're
electric car.
mandating that you can't buy any new gasoline cars after 2030.
No, that's incorrect.
Nobody's
California.
done that yet.
That's incorrect. You mean you? That's incorrect, Phil.
Newsom said that that there was not going to be any more. Okay, bottom line here is that if this is the case, our grid, Charlie's grid, cannot sustain charging all of these cars
How do you know?
because Charlie sat in the dark for 3 days.
Yeah, he was in the dark forever down there.
And then my TV
Well, let me
was
ask.
going
Hold on
on
a
and
second.
off.
Just
How
shut.
do you know that they're not able to support all this, Phil?
It's very simple. Charlie sat in the dark for
I'm
3
not
days.
talking about
Charlie,
Charlie. I'm
hold on
you're
a
talking
second.
about brownouts and blackouts in Oakland and Alameda County, and then you say we're supposed to have all these cars. How are we going to support it? So I'm not talking
That's
about not talking about Texas. I'm talking about here. How do you know we're not able to support that?
Well, because we're not opening up any new power plants. We're decommissioning all the nuclear reactor plants. So therefore, we're not putting in any new power availability in this state.
But seriously,
Because
folks,
of Oakland
what do you
and
think you're
Alameda
gonna
County
do?
was not because of Teslas. Was
Yeah,
not
what do
because
you
of
think you're
electric
going
cars.
to do? You're going to wind
hold on a
power
second.
it?
Hold on. Hey, just
But it
shut.
was not because of electric cars. You're saying that you have this and now you're not going to be able to support this. We have blackouts anyways.
Charlie, how much of an impact does an electric car have on the electricity in general?
You're missing the point.
Listen to him. He knows what he's talking about. What?
But you're missing the point.
What? Go ahead, Charlie.
And there's a lot of solar going
I
up
want to hear
also.
Charlie's answer.
No, it's virtually zero impact on electricity. I know. Well, Jack says his electric bill isn't affected one bit about.
That's solar.
Well, he's got that's on, and that's another. You're talking about we're not putting up power plants. We're putting up a lot of solar on houses around the country, and you can power your car perfectly fine with solar.
I'm not saying that the cars are taking the power. I'm saying that you're not going to be able to charge the cars when you have blackouts due to other reasons.
No, because the electric.
How does a house with solar and battery backup have a blackout? Phil, tell us.
There's no sun out. You know, you don't. You can't have solar on your house in a lot of areas. There are tons of areas where solar is not a viable.
And why is that?
Antarctica.
Yeah, there you go.
No, there's areas that
even on days where it's overcast and even raining, you're still getting your solar panels are still being charged.
Yes.
but maybe not at the rate that you need to.
Phil, you know nothing about. Listen. Forget about it. You know nothing about science. So when it comes to science, just shut the fuck up.
I was going to him for my medicine too.
What?
Oh, yeah, Tony comes to me for all his medical advice.
I put him on speaker when I was with the oncologist. Can you repeat what you just said, please?
Yeah. Yes, Jeff.
I don't know if anybody knows, but in New York State,
yes,
they are going.
He sounds like he have fun. He's so low.
I'm sorry. In New York State, I think it's 5 years, when you buy a car, it ought to be a battery-operated car. Period.
I would go along with that, except I would make an exception. I think they could be hybrids for a while. You know,
Well, that's fine. I
So,
agree with
Jeff,
that.
are you saying that New York has said that by
No, they haven't.
2027,
no,
that
Something like
you
that
it has to be an electric car?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in California, I believe they said 2030.
yeah, I don't think
okay,
I don't
same.
think Kathy Hochul said that, but I think she wanted to encourage the use of electric automobiles.
But these electric cars are very expensive.
Well, all cars are expensive.
Well, but I'm
You know,
talking about-
you can get into an electric car for what? What's the cheapest one out there? Now we go to our other expert, Brian.
55,000.
Yeah. They just lowered the price 10,000 for the Teslas, so they were 64, now they're 54.
But aren't there some other brands that are
Chevy
cheaper?
Bolt's
yeah.
only 35,000. What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
Leaf
Chevy
and
Bolt.
those type, yeah.
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 you know, and as they start making more and more of them, and as they become the norm rather than the exception, I think you're going to find that they get cheaper and more inexpensive, and the batteries get cheaper, and you know, things like that. So, you know,
It may be.
is Phil frozen?
It'll take a number of years.
I think Phil frozen.
Oh yes, he is. This is beautiful.
This is great.
Oh my God.
How'd you do that, Alex? That's awesome.
Yeah, but
ready
unfortunately,
to say something.
unfortunately, Phil, are you there?
It's like Nostradamus.
No.
Oh,
Maybe
God,
Kevin Brown out.
it's
A
like
rain
Jeff.
of fire will come from the sky and Phil's
Oh,
frozen.
Phil, are
I
you
think
He
there?
was talking-
oh, he's gone.
No.
You don't think there was an earthquake by him, do you? More
Must
like
have had one of those
I
blackouts.
know we would. You
Well,
know,
I think
Brian
what
and
no,
I
I'll
would've
tell you what it
felt
was. I'll tell you what it was. It was all those Teslas drawing power from his house.
He probably had a brownout in his neighborhood.
Yeah, could have been. You know.
There's no problem. I mean, it was windy last night. So what?
Oh wait a minute. Phil just sent me a message.
mad.
Electric is down.
Oh my God. Is he joking?
I don't pray to God very many times, but thank you, whatever you did.
Yeah, really? I'm with you on that. Let's see if the electric's really down. I have a website called United
Oh, really?
States Power.
Yeah,
A lot of California is because of the winds.
but sometimes you can't tell if for a while until it gets reported. Say, that's
Right.
one of the problems.
Well,
yeah.
you know, actually, in the county he's in, they have 33 people that are out. Those are all the Republicans, probably.
Good. I will say something about the electric cars. You know that everybody is converting over, though. You know, I know they have all these rules and stuff that they're trying to do by 2035, but
Right.
for California. But I mean, even look at the new McLarens, the new Ferraris. All these are coming out hybrids now,
Yep.
and even the new Corvette. There's a hybrid that they're experimenting with. So I mean, even going up to these big, exotic cars, everybody's really turning that way. So I don't know if it's going to go that way, but I mean, they showed the McLaren. I test drove one a couple months ago, and I mean, the cool thing is you start it up and there's no noise at all. You can go up to 70 miles like that, and then it charges while you're driving. The Teslas, when you let off the gas, it gets that charge back. It's slowly, very, very slowly. But when I test drove the McLaren, it actually takes that motor and gets the energy from that, so it'll max that power out again. And then as the car warms up, the motor warms up, then it'll turn on later while all the fluids.
Are you getting a new McLaren, the battery power?
Oh no, they're not that expensive, but no.
How much are they?
And
I think they're $240 right now.
Oh, good. That's a reasonable car.
California, it's not a $300,000 house. You know how that goes, right? So you
They're
buy that
getting
car,
more
you
and more
still
range on
take
them.
the equity from your house and get the loan.
Yeah. What were you saying, Charlie?
they're improving the range on the cars too. There's one car I saw that's getting 400 miles on the charge.
I saw one that's getting 500. I think the Tesla.
500.
I think the Tesla top of the line gets 500.
Yeah.
No,
650.
Huh?
no, the Lucid. The Lucid is 500 now.
Yeah. What
Oh,
were you
okay.
going to say, Scott? You were saying
Well,
something.
I thought I'd looked that Tesla up once, and it was closer to 650. I thought, Alex.
What the one that gets 600, 500
Yeah,
miles?
but it was like a $300,000 car too, or something.
Yeah.
And that was the one with the long extension cord, right?
Solar panels. They did try it, and there's one really sexy car, and oh man, I'm blanking out what's named now. But that one they tried solar panels on the roof. It was production cars.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, can't remember that name, but yeah.
You know what Phil could do, but he can't hear us right now. So if he has no electricity, he does have his phone, and
Or laptop.
he could call us
don't tell
using
him that.
his phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I did for 4 days.
I mean,
but I'm sure he knows this already. So something else must be happening because he's
Yeah, he got pissed because everybody ganged up on him.
give him a call there.
I'm going to right now.
Right now, give him a call. Let's see what's happening with.
You want me to put it on the air? Hold on a minute. I'll actually call him.
I think it was God getting even with him. You know.
Here, I'm gonna.
Yeah, tell him if he calls on his phone will blow up.
I'm calling on his phone.
Maybe it is.
Went down.
Really? Well, why don't you get back on the show on your phone?
Well, I'm trying to reboot the computer. I got it. It's on back.
Wait a minute. How do you reboot a computer if there's no power?
The circuit breaker popped.
Oh,
So it
On the
wasn't.
computer.
Oh, that
I
was
get it.
even
Okay.
that was even more an act of God.
That was like
He
him.
must have had the toaster on with the computer. My mother used to do that, Alex.
Tony
We had to have
said
a
you
switch.
must have had the toaster
You
on.
couldn't put the air conditioner on
With the
with the microwave.
heater on and through the breaker.
Don't
Okay,
get me.
well, we have nothing to talk about. We're just all sitting here in silence. So get back on.
In the chat
Yeah,
room,
because
it
without
says
you
that
here, there's
a
nothing to talk about.
Yeah, there's a Chevy Bolt that cost only $27,000.
Right.
Really?
You got bad circuitry in that place.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
he doesn't. He never has problems like this.
Well, if
He
he had
probably slapped
I
the
thought Walnut
computer.
Creek was upscale.
Yes, it is very upscale.
is it
Not that
upscale?
switch
Yeah,
box.
He lives 2 blocks from a Nordstrom's, if that gives you an idea.
Oh wow.
Oh,
okay.
really?
I mean, literally 2 blocks away.
From a Nordstrom's. Wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He doesn't shop there. He goes
I
to
was gonna say.
Kmart, but, you know.
I would think he would be better dressed than he is if he lived near a Nordstrom's. Jeez.
That's pretty classy, isn't it? No, that's usually like in Long Island or something.
No,
It's a
Nordstrom's,
high-end clothing.
Nordy's is, it was most expensive, I think, wasn't
Really?
it? Oh,
Yeah,
here,
that
here-
Bloomingdale's or Bloomingdale.
oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, so you're, no, so, wait a minute. Let me see here. So you were talking about electricity, Phil. Is it any sign from above that your circuit breaker went while you were trying to show how much you knew about electric?
Yeah, no, my circuit breaker went because I had the space heater on
See? You think my mother did it.
in this office. Faye put on the microwave.
Well, of course.
See?
That's
the
it.
microwave in my house was on the back of the house.
That's what Tony just said.
so
Well, you know
look,
what? I changed the wiring.
all
on
I
it.
know is if you were trying to charge your Tesla at the same time that you turn on the microwave,
That's not a problem.
boom, it's all over.
But anyway, so yeah. Well, you know, we're glad to have you back, Phil. Don't you
I
feel
bet
that,
you are.
Don't you feel that way, Brian?
Brian was all upset.
Yeah. Hey, where's Phil?
Brian's trying to figure out how to get your microwave and heater to come back on.
On at the same time? No,
and
it's
his wife.
cold out here.
We haven't heard from Scott in a while on this
yeah,
program. Basically because he doesn't want to call in case you do, Phil. So it's nice to see that he called tonight, and I thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you.
He usually calls our Monday show, actually. You know. By the way, there will be hopefully, Jack will be on tonight. I mean, I tried to get his system
That's
going.
what I was going to say. He called me and told me to call everybody and let him know he's going to be on.
Well, we're
So
hoping.
who did you call?
We're hoping. We're hoping.
I called a few people, not you, because they were only the important people.
No, but here's the thing. We're going to have to see if it works tonight. I could not figure out what the hell was wrong with his system, to be very honest with you. And it was sporadic, and it was erratic. So I hope that we don't have that problem when he goes on tonight. But, you know.
It's the solar.
Huh?
It was his solar.
That's right.
Really?
He does have solar,
Oh, he
by the
also
way.
does?
Yeah,
He does have solar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What do you mean impressive? If you're
Well, 'cause when
smart,
I go to-
do you have solar, Brian?
No.
Why
I don't know how
not?
many people know.
I should. I should. I've had the guys come out here and give me all the estimates and all that stuff. So
Costs about 20 grand to put it in, right?
Oh, more than
I
that.
forget. Yeah.
But
Yeah, more
oh,
than
did you
that.
do it, Scott? Do you have
No,
solar?
I didn't, but
Oh.
I've looked into it. And it's not. I don't use that much electricity anyway, so it's not. The payouts just doesn't work.
Well, it's terrific in that, let's say you don't use all the electricity that you would normally use with the stuff you've got on your roof. If there's any left over, they send it back to the electric company and they buy it from you. You get a check from them.
Not much.
I think Texas has got some strange rules that
Yep.
they won't
Texas
buy
won't
that.
let you
They'll buy
buy
it
it
at
back.
like
In Texas,
a
they
tenth of what
stopped
you
it.
pay.
So solar in here, I looked into it a few months ago. To get solar panels and the Tesla Powerwall, which is basically battery backup, $40,000.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
I wonder how much money, Alan, it would be before you get your money back from the
Well,
saving.
what's your utility bill?
Well, my utility bill
300 a
here.
month?
Okay, my utility bill
much?
here. It comes to. God, I would say I pay an average of $400 a month.
All right.
Electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a
you
lot.
know,
So if
It would
you
take-
amortize that over, let's see, 400.
Well, that's 40.
oh now he's going to be Mr. Math.
He's taking forever for that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
20 years, that's $96,000. But in 20 years, it's going to be a lot more expensive.
And you're
than
probably
it
going to
is
need a
in
new
month.
solar system.
And
Yeah.
the panels are falling. But at that time, the
But
sun
if
will
you
be
think
gone.
about it over the life of the unit, let's say it's a 20-year unit.
Yeah. But in a state where you can sell your electricity back, some of that works
Oh,
out.
wow.
You know. But unfortunately, you know, both Scott and Charlie live in a retarded state. Not them
Okay,
personally, the place where they live. You know.
Jeff had his hand up.
Yes, Jeff.
We're changing our electric system from another supplier at our house. And we're going to save money on it.
Good.
Does it
I'm
come from the
warning
same
you.
people, but it's just different billing?
No. Here's what I got to say to you.
No.
Watch out for that. Those people, they come knocking on your door and they come pestering you and they tell you we can cut your bill down, blah blah blah. They never do. They never
See,
do.
what it is it's the same company that's selling you the electric, but these people buy it in bulk or and then resell it because they're getting a cheaper rate, and then they make
Well,
the
they told me
difference.
my business manager said, well, these people seem like they can say they can save you money, so why don't you switch over to them? So I switched over to them. The first month my bill came, it was larger than the one I had with the regular Con Ed. You know, so I mean, those guys are. I had to throw one of those guys out of our apartment house because they were just getting to the point where they were going from door to door, lying to people, lying about what they could do with their electricity and buying it cheaper, and you can get it cheaper and whatever. No,
It must be from the
I
government.
I would double check them, Jeff, just to make sure.
I already have my friend who's been using it
Yeah,
for a couple of months.
yeah,
We checked his numbers before and after,
yeah.
and we're going to try it.
Well, hey, I would do it in a second if I thought it was for real, but I tried it once, and the electricity
You
price went
remember
up.
the phone companies that used to call you and try to get you to sign up on
Yeah,
their
I
phone
remember that.
company?
Yeah.
It's just the same thing, isn't it?
No, well, now it's a different thing altogether because they deregulated the phone company, and so those little
And now
phone
it costs
companies.
more.
What?
And now it costs more.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you used to have to, if you wanted the main phone company, it got AT&T. That was the phone company, and then they couldn't be the phone company anymore, so they had to compete with other people. So Sprint and people like that came into the game.
Verizon.
And but all of them, so now AT&T, hell, AT&T's not even the number one. I don't think. I think the number one is. I'm thinking it's maybe like T-Mobile or something like that. Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah.
So
In this area, it's probably
there's
Comcast.
Verizon, and there's AT&T and T-Mobile.
Comcast in our area supplies a
then
lot
there's-
of the phone.
Yeah.
Fiber optic.
Now,
anyway.
I think we're all getting ripped off. You remember when Western Electric made the phones, and they were such good pieces of equipment, and now you got these things you pay $1,000 for.
Of course, a brick doesn't go out on you. You know, I mean, those things were made out of.
Doesn't pop the
Remember, they were
breaker
made out
either.
of Bakelite, and if nobody dared break into your home because you could kill him with your
The
phone.
phone.
If you ever got mad at somebody and hung up,
in the
it
house.
really hung up.
Well, no, but the other thing was, I often felt that the phone company should have, AT&T should have come out with an ad about that time, saying, remember the days when you used to get mad and the first thing you would do is rip the phone out of the wall and throw it across the room? And then after you were through with your little fight or spat, you would pick up the phone and you would get your screwdriver and screw it back into the plate. That phone still worked for years, didn't it? We're AT&T.
You know,
Right?
the strange thing is, those phones had cords that went between the phone and the handset.
Oh, yeah.
And they rarely got tangled.
I got a cord now. It's called the power cord.
No, I love the fact that you're acting like that's amazing. Hey, you know, it had a cord between the thing and the thing, you know.
And the quality of the sound was good, you know?
Oh, yeah.
No, unless it rained.
Yeah.
Then it started crackling. You know. No, phones weren't better then. They're not any better
now because everything's digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're better now because they really don't go out anymore. You know, it used to be when I first started getting a cell phone that used to go through dead spots.
Yeah.
You know, most common thing you'd say to somebody, "Are you still there?" You know, but that's all gone. You know, you don't hit dead spots anymore.
I got a phone in '82, and I had Cellular One, I think was the name of the company.
Yeah.
And you could, in San Francisco, you would get reception, but if you drove down Highway 5, you didn't get reception
Right.
again until you got to Los Angeles.
Right. There were dead spots.
Yeah.
And now you can go from coast to coast and there are no dead spots.
I disagree.
You disagree? Oh, you live in Florida. Yeah.
No. I went to Florida from Connecticut, and there would be bad spots all the time.
Really?
You move out of Connecticut then.
Yeah.
Well, if I stay in Connecticut, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm teasing, Jeff.
Yeah, but I don't.
I drove to Louisville last year. I've never lost connection anywhere. The whole trip, over 1,000 miles.
In Kentucky. Wow, imagine that.
Yeah. From Texas to Kentucky. I went through Arkansas even, and I still had a signal.
You know, Florida doesn't have any mountains, so it's. I would imagine you'd get signal, uninterrupted signal. But if you're in New York City with all of the high-rise buildings, is cell service interrupted quite a bit? Alex?
Cell service here?
Yeah,
cell
because
service
of the
in New
high-rise
York-
buildings.
No.
Cell service in New York is the best in the country right now.
And I have, for
pizza
instance,
is.
I'm never going to get bad signal here because right across the street are some cellular towers.
Right,
Got
right
but
on top of the
one
building.
cellular tower.
But in Manhattan,
No,
for instance, you
never
have a
had
lot of
it.
skyscrapers.
Never get dead spots. You know what? When I used to get dead spots, when I first got cell, and I was in San Francisco, cellular service in San Francisco was god awful.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Now I imagine they fixed it since then, and I think it was AT&T that was especially terrible
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah. I think you're right.
But they've all improved, and now you got the 5G, and it's clear, and it's faster, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, anybody here? Let me just ask this question: does anybody here literally have a landline phone?
No.
Not anymore.
Really, you do still, Tony?
Yeah, I do.
What's your problem?
Well, it's been here for so long, we just kept it, really. I know.
And you can pick up the phone and talk to your mom, right?
You want me to call you from the show right now on the phone? It's not that good.
No.
I don't think he has the number anymore.
Yeah, I do.
No. There was a show
Oh.
number. Did you give that up? That was a Skype thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we got
I do
rid
have
of
a
that a
landline
long time ago. Yes, Jeff.
I think I still have one. And the reason I have it is connected to my
The alarm.
pacemaker.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if somebody cuts that line outside, your pacemaker stops?
I'm out.
Yeah, Jeff, that wasn't too reassuring. You said, I think it's hooked up to my pacemaker. I mean, you better, that's something you should really know how it's set up.
I would
I
check
know where
into
it is.
that.
I would
very-
check into that. Just to make
this
sure,
day-
you know, They
It's
don't
for
see your bill and
reporting.
say, "Oh wow, you know what? You could save $20 a month if you take off your landline." You know.
Jeez
In this
almighty.
day and age, I bet your pacemaker is wirelessly connected to a base unit, and then that may go to your wired, your twisted pair, twisted cable, whatever you want to call it, your
Yeah.
old phone system, right?
Yeah, the equivalent
Yeah.
of an AT&T type.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And my alarm, my burglar alarm runs through the.
Same.
It's not AT&T. I have Comcast, but it's the same thing. It's a regular phone, wired phone.
Why?
But if I didn't have an alarm system, I wouldn't need the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. That makes sense. Yeah.
Now,
But
I went from wired phones at work to voice over IP, and tell you the truth, the voice over IP has a lot of problems.
Why don't you explain how that technology works, Phil?
It's done over the internet.
it's called VoIP, is how you refer to it.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Stands for voice over IP.
I used to have VoIP when I wanted cheaper phone service when I first moved to New York. And then the phone service became so cheap for like long distance calls and stuff. It was just cheaper if you had VoIP. And then all of a sudden, they come out with the Apple iPhone and everything, and the prices are one price. You can call anywhere in the country. VoIP died that day. Okay. I can't remember there was a VoIP company I used, and I can't remember what their name was now. So
I'm using Verizon at work, and I have like 7 or 8 phone numbers because each line has to have its own phone number. And
why you're doing something
system.
illegal?
Not with voiceover.
I used to have a Merlin system. It was one number and several extensions, and now with the VoIP, it's
what does that stand for, Phil? Phil?
Voice over IP.
What does IP stand for?
Internet protocol.
Thank you. Very good.
Very good.
I'll be here all week.
He got one thing right tonight. Very good.
Yeah, he wins. I don't know what, but he wins.
On curtain number 3.
Gabnet T-shirt. I'll take the Gabnet
Hold out for
T-shirt.
big money.
50, Alex.
Size 50?
No, for $50 on the Gabnet store.
Yeah. So anyway, let me see here. What else? Let me see. I don't know what else to talk about. So good night, everybody. No.
They are having a shoplifting problem in New York, and they're putting canines in stores to try to stop the shoplifters.
Oh yeah, I see them everywhere.
Yeah. Do you think that that's racist?
Why would you say that?
Why would it be racist?
Putting dogs in stores to stop shoplifters?
Are they using German shepherds and Jews are
I
stealing?
think so, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think it's German shepherds.
And German shepherds don't like anybody other than.
Well, all I know is I went back.
They were used to hunt slaves.
I went to my pharmacy the other day. Stopped by my pharmacy. By the way, we're going in a week from Friday to get our next shot, our 6th COVID shot.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Alan, did you know about a 6th shot?
That's a lot.
I didn't know about a 6th shot.
No, neither did I.
Yeah, no, there's a 6th shot now. And we were supposed to get it on Friday, but I have that doctor's appointment, so, whatever.
Is this the one that they use for euthanization?
Okay.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah, really.
Folks, don't pay any attention to the guy trying to tell jokes. Just avoid him. By the way, I was watching a documentary on Tesla. Not the car.
Oh my God.
Nicholas
guy.
or Nikolai?
Huh?
Nikolai.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla.
Nikola, you're right.
Yeah. It was fascinating. I mean,
On YouTube.
yeah.
There's several of them.
Well, no, this one I saw on Amazon Prime. It was done by PBS. I'd seen it before, and I just wanted to watch it again. And the guy was brilliant, but he was robbed. He for most of his life did not make any money because when he first started out, he invented alternating current. and he made a deal with George Westinghouse so he would get a royalty of $202.50 for every kilowatt of power that was used under alternating current.
That's correct.
And at a certain point, Westinghouse said, "This is driving me broke, and I don't think I can keep up with our royalty." And he said, "Okay, I'll give up my royalty. Just let's keep making."
Gave up his shares, his stock.
His shares.
Had
Well,
he hung on to it, he would have died a rich man.
he would have been the richest man in America.
Probably.
Okay, because the whole country went to AC. I mean, there was some DC out there, but very rarely. Anyway, he died at, I think he was 87, something like that. Died in the New Yorker Hotel here in New York. A poor man, destitute. A couple of weeks after he died, the Supreme Court ruled that Marconi didn't invent radio. Guess who did?
Tesla.
Alex Bennett.
Yeah, right. Tesla. And if Tesla had lived, he would have been, again, the wealthiest man in America, because all the patents that Marconi used to create wireless were Nikola Tesla's.
Yeah, he used 12 of Nikola Tesla's patents.
Yeah, something like 12 of them. Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
What's that?
And they literally said Marconi didn't invent the wireless.
Nope.
He just simply adapted all of Tesla's patents and made it work.
Illegally.
Well, he didn't have to pay him anything. What?
Philo, the guy that invented the
Philo
TV.
T. Farnsworth invented television.
Yeah.
And he was robbed by Sarnoff.
And who was the guy? Is that the guy from CBS that took the red, green, and blue camera to? There was somebody else. I thought it was CBS that robbed somebody else of his patent.
No,
it might have been
what it was. What you're thinking of?
The camera, the TV camera.
No, what you're thinking of is color television.
That's it, color television.
And CBS invented the first color system.
I've never had one of those.
Which was then approved by the FCC as being the color television standard. And what it was there was a giant color wheel that spun.
Right, red, green, blue. Right?
Yeah. In the set in front of the tube at a certain rate and so on, so that it perceived that you were getting full color. And they say the color was pretty incredible, but the set was huge because you had to have this wheel that was rotating. Okay? And Sarnoff, this just pissed off Sarnoff because he wanted to be the first there with color television. He started a campaign saying that these wheels in the sets could come loose and decapitate your family. And because of that lie, the FCC switched their allegiance to NBC and to Sarnoff and RCA for color television, because it didn't have a big spinning wheel that would chop your head off. It was just an inferior system. Yes.
Have you noticed that ever since Phil came back on, Brian's reading all the junk mail at home?
He's just looking up. He's fact checking me.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's right. In the junk mail flyer, it talks about Phil Meyer.
I was watching YouTube today, which is what I do with most of my life. I just go from one thing to another to another to another.
There's a lot of good stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and I saw a thing on Lauren Boebert, and this was on the Young Turks channel, TYT, who I can't stand the guy, but they were saying, and I don't know how true this is, that there's been a lot to support the fact that Lauren Boebert, you know, the congresswoman,
Colorado,
congresswoman from where is she? Wyoming or Colorado? Colorado. Did you know she worked as a hooker?
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Ted, Ted Cruz fucked her.
Yeah, Ted Cruz fucked her. And
He did, seriously.
That was a
Trump didn't
rumor.
get
I
a
never
piece
know
of
that was
Seriously.
verified.
yeah, and
but-
Ted
I
Cruz,
thought she was hot.
she became.
Oh, lift that up, Brian. Lift it up.
So did Santos. He fucked everybody.
No. Santos got
In New
fucked
York.
by everybody.
Yeah, but anyway, no. What it was? She convinced Cruz that he should run for office. Should
No,
run for
Cruz
Senate.
convinced her she should run for
Oh,
office.
really? It was the other way
Yes.
around? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
yeah.
I
correct.
thought she owned a restaurant.
Not anymore.
No.
She had a
Yeah,
restaurant.
she had her. No, I think she still had. I don't know if she still has it, but she
She got
had
it
a
from her
restaurant.
hooker.
It was called
Hooker
like
money?
like
Yeah,
Rifle Cafe or something like that. You know.
Rifle coffee. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some woman in Italy that was a porn star that
Yeah.
became?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did she become?
She became a
Trump's
member
wife.
of parliament.
Member of Parliament, yeah.
Yeah.
Ran for prime minister, I thought, too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Did she win?
no, obviously not. But
You
it was
never know.
But it was interesting how she was trying to get your vote. Anyway, what was her name? God, I used to know all these things. My mind is
The
just
Italian
going.
one? I don't remember.
Yeah, I used to. She had a name.
You probably had sex with her. That's why you remember her.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. It seems like you were the gigolo in San Francisco when you were working here.
What do you mean? I was the gigolo in San Francisco.
I don't know. Every time, once a week or something, you talk about some girl that you dated or something like that or had sex with when you were working in San Francisco.
I'll tell you, most of the time when I was in San Francisco, on and off, I had permanent girlfriends in certain periods of time. You know.
What time was Phil one of them?
But I mean, I had one girlfriend for a lot of that time, believe it or not. But we were always on and off again, you know. She would break up with me, and then she'd get back with me, and we broke up 11 times in 11 years.
Wow.
So
You're
when
consistent?
when people ask me if I ever cheated on her, I have to go, I don't know. 'Cause we're, like we'd break up, and I'd go find people to have a good time with. And then we get back together, and But anyway, that's old. That's an old story. But no, I was. What do you mean a gigolo? To begin with, that's such an old.
He's
term.
trying to live vicariously through your old career.
I got to tell you, my mother came to visit me here in New York, and I had a couple of girlfriends, right? I
met one of them.
Which
Naomi.
one? Naomi, you met, but she wasn't my girlfriend at that time. But she came
Well,
to
you were
town.
living with her. I mean, you were in the same, you were in the apartment.
Yeah.
She could stop traffic. She was that pretty.
No, it was that she fell down in front of cars. Anyway, no. If you look at the what is it? National Lampoon National Lampoon Radio Dinner, the double fold version of it. I'm there with her, and people could see what she looked like. But anyway, no, it wasn't her. So let me see here. What was? Oh yeah. So my mother said to me one night when we were sitting there, and she's saying, I don't know if I like the life you're leading. You've got too many girlfriends. And then she said the following: what you are is a roue.
What does that mean, a roue?
A roulette.
Roue. No, a roue.
A roulette.
It was a term that was probably used during the 1920s to describe a man who saw a lot of different women, a man of the streets, a roue.
He probably was upset then. So.
Yeah. So she called me a roue, and I went, a what?
Don't worry, Tony. Nobody will ever call you that.
No.
It didn't either than me.
They probably won't
Especially after the prostectomy.
Yeah.
I didn't have the prostectomy.
No, he didn't have a prostate.
Bill was the only one.
Oh
that
well,
had that.
But I'll tell you,
for him it was the radiation.
And the seeds.
They didn't remove my prostate, but they may as well have removed my prostate because my doctor said the thing's flatter than a pancake.
I had to get up late. Okay, you were telling your story about that woman. Remember with your mom?
Yeah, Mr. Rouet.
I was a roue. Yeah.
She coming out with a smoking jacket and a pipe.
Yeah, well, what happened was she said, well, she says, I don't like the women you're seeing. I said, well, how about that woman Barbara that I've been seeing? And she says, no, I don't like her. I said, okay, how about my girlfriend Rhoda? She says, oh, she's nice. I like her. I said, well, let me inform you, Mom. Barbara's aunt and uncle wrote The Way We Were. Okay? And she's a very successful artist, does book covers and things like that. She was and I said, and Rhoda, she's a porn actress.
She liked Rhoda too.
My mother swallowed her tongue practically. I had to put a stick in her mouth to keep her from swallowing it. But that's why I was a roue. Okay.
My old school Italian grandfather, I took care of him for a little bit. I always had pictures of me with these Asian girls for some reason. I don't know why. And then he'd always say, take a book out of Tony's book or page of Tony's book, but he'd always say, why you always go out with these slant-eyed girls? Yeah. And then I said, well, what about Lisa? Lisa, you like Lisa? He goes, oh, I love Lisa. I said, yeah, she's Vietnamese, but she doesn't look it because her eyes are a little bit different. But I said, she's Vietnamese. He goes, oh, really? I said, oh, my God.
I told you my uncle, God rest his soul, he was a funny guy. I never forget this. It was a birthday party. He was crazy, Tom. He was just nuts. My father's older brother, but a nice guy. And one of my Chinese friends was there, and he goes, hey, chopsticks, give me a piece of cake. My mother wanted to take the cake and smash it over his face. She says, Leo, you can't. He thinks he's funny. It's not funny. The kid's 10 years old. You don't call him chopsticks.
Well, I got to tell you, I know this guy, who to this day refers to Chinese food as chinks.
That's me.
And
That's funny, huh? Do you know my mother?
There somewhere. I don't know.
We got a Christmas card from Grand China, me and my mother. That's how much we owe them money. They send us a Christmas card. I never forget that. She got so excited. I said, Mom, you must be like the best customer. Your mother wanted that. I used to always do their voice on the phone. Mom, I used to time them. They used to come so fast because it was like 3 blocks away.
Bobby Slayton had part of his act was doing a Chinese bag lady. It was hilarious. I know he probably doesn't do it anymore.
He doesn't do his act anymore.
Yeah. That was hilarious. He was so good at that.
Well, he used to have a lot of material about Chinese.
Oh, really?
But it was very...
And about Jews.
Huh?
And about
Jews.
Why, have you ever seen Bobby Slayton?
Bobby Slayton never did any jokes about Jews.
Yeah,
good Chinese jokes. Bag lady.
What?
There's a video on YouTube where he's doing stand-up and he put a Jewish joke in there.
Oh, okay. One Jewish joke.
A Jewish joke.
A Jewish joke.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What are you going to my medical school now?
To those medical school. I got you on the bookshelf. Phil says to drink this, drink time.
So anyway,
Tony, don't listen to anything Phil says about medical stuff, about science, economics.
Well, he was right about the peeing a little bit. I have to say that.
What?
Like sometimes at night I have to go a little more if I'm having my coffee, and it makes me get up.
I don't go all night now.
No. Really? Okay.
It'll go away, Tony. It just takes some time.
Yeah, I'm only once or twice a night. Maybe I get up at 1, and then when I get up, maybe at 3.
I go once or twice a night, and I don't have prostate cancer.
Thank God.
You can always hope.
No, stop that. He said that's terrible.
He's terrible to me.
Don't wish it on another guy. He got me right. He got the Tony.
Well, it's not a coincidence that a lot of people that call this show get prostate cancer.
Yeah, that's the first thing when I heard it. I was like, Phil was right. I think.
Name a lot of people. I'm looking at 7 people on the show. They don't, and 5 of them don't have prostate cancer.
Well, no, 3 of them have had I had prostate cancer.
I'm sorry. That's right. 3 of them have.
Well, that's if you consider we've got
pretty high percentage.
What do we got right here, including me? We got 8 people, and if 5 of them didn't have prostate cancer and 3 did, that's a pretty high percentage.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got Vern and others that, aren't calling
Vernon were
tonight.
calling tonight. He had it.
Right.
So prostate cancer tends to be, and you're going to say this is ageist, but it's not. It tends to be a disease of older people, older men.
No.
Older
Let me explain it.
There was the guy from Czechoslovakia who was 39 when he got it. What was his name? David Haychik.
If you get prostate cancer as Tony did early, at his young age, it's a little more dangerous than it is when you're my age, which was like 80.
That's right.
Okay, and the reason is if all of you live long enough, chances are you'll get prostate cancer. I mean, it's just in the cards, just the way things go. But you have to live that long. So that's why when you say old people get prostate cancer, it's because they live that long, not because,
Yeah, well, I was going to make another point, another half a point to this. Older people get it, and we don't have 40-year-olds on the show. Most of the people that are on this show are older.
Well, years ago, David Haychik used to call.
And he was 39.
He was 39.
I was 53.
And when he got it, and he
one person, Phil.
Well, wait a minute. And then there's Tony.
Your hater is probably close to 40. Mandy.
Tony's pretty young.
Well, I'm 53. I'll be 54.
Yeah, but
I was 63.
Alex, that's young.
Oh, he's a kid.
I was 63 when I got prostate cancer.
Young to me too. You're 10 years younger than me, Tony.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But it's
you got more hair than I do, that's for sure. You're a lot more skinny than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I try. The doc says you're in good health. I says I just had radiation.
So do I look healthy, everybody? Do I look?
I think you do.
I look healthy.
Think so.
I don't look.
Don't listen to Phil talking about your kidneys going out.
Oh, and Alan, Tony is a lot funnier than you too.
Oh, I laugh at myself. I don't really care anymore, so it doesn't bother me. You can insult me.
I think you had coffee tonight. Thank you.
I did, yeah. Now it's like, you know what? I used to take things seriously. I don't anymore after this last year because it's like, who cares? I really don't. I've changed totally now.
Good, Tony. I'm glad you told me that. I cut his mic.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't even know why I'm whispering because he can't even hear what I'm
Tony,
saying.
tell us, how do you feel about what's happening today?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Tony.
That's what we do to Tony when he's had too much coffee.
Oh, Charlie, don't rat him out.
What does it say there? What did you put up, Charlie? What's the sign?
That you're muted.
I can't see. Oh, you're
That's
muted.
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here, I'll unmute you, Tony. So
you're assuming Tony can read.
I'm going to ask him to unmute. Okay. There you go, Tony. Yeah, there you go.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good.
That was a good story.
I went for my scan Monday, and they said, "Oh, everything looks good. How do you feel?" I says, "I feel fine." He says, "That's good."
Yeah.
Is there anything else? He says, "No, we'll see you in follow up next month." All right.
Next month? Wow, they're seeing you often, aren't they?
Well, this is just to give me
good insurance.
I'm still taking my medication that they gave me.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, we're back to that again. Here. But anyway, so I look healthy, right, guys?
You look good, Alex.
Yeah, just ask him about the bags under your eyes and any correlation to liver issues.
Oh, stop! Here we go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
You know, Phil. If you looked half as good as Alex does, and yet you're younger than he is, and you look older than he does. I mean, come on.
I could have had these bags for $4,000. I could have gotten rid of these bags, but I don't think it's worth
money
it.
$4,000.
Huh?
That's a lot, though. I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket.
Can you use makeup?
What?
Makeup.
No, I don't use makeup.
No, if you did, maybe you wouldn't have the bags.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, hey, everybody. Scott Boddicker, always good having you here. You should call more often, my friend. And thank you to Alan as well, and Charlie, and the three of you probably can call over next to Jack, who is hopefully it'll work tonight. I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Thank you so much, Brian Neary, for your help tonight. Tony, thank you. Jeff Stein, I thank you, and Phil Meyer, thank you as well. Everybody, give a big wave goodbye, and I'll give a wave back at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. There they go. Jack Bishop is next. He's here with the intersection. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. We'll see you again tomorrow, 10:30, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, as I like to say, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Good night, everybody.